Hello and welcome back to Arcpy Geospatial Solutions. So this video forms a part of the Arcpy playlist as we're going to work on some Python. Write some lines of code, and then we're going to use that code to customize a tool using the ArcMap software. Okay, so the tool which we're going to build is it will be creating a new personal geodatabase first, and then it will be converting the shapefiles that exist within a particular folder uh, into feature classes, and then it will be storing those newly created feature classes inside the newly created personal database, right? So for that, first you'll be writing some code. So for that, you have to use the Python Win application. So let me open the Python Win application now. And if you're new to this concept of Arcpy, then I suggest you please have a look at my previous videos, because in my previous videos I have discussed all these topics in length. So you can also see them if you're just a beginner in the Arcpy domain. So in those previous videos I have discussed what is the use of a Python Win software, etc. So please have a look. So coming back, so first let me open the Python Win application now. So since I've already installed it in my system, so it will be directly available in my start menu. Okay, so this is a Python Win application. As you can see, this is the interactive window here, but we're going to write the code in a new file. So first let me create a new file, and this new file will be a Python script file. So this is my new file. So our first line of code will be import Arcpy statement, because only then it will be importing all the modules that are required for the execution of this tool. So the first and foremost statement which we have to include here is import Arcpy. Okay. And the second most important step is that you have to import the environment variable. So it will be from Arcpy import env. So this env stands for the term environment. So now we are going to declare the arguments. As I already said, we are going to build an interactive tool. So this tool will be asking the user to feed some inputs. It will be executing the tool only based on the inputs fed by the user. So for that you have to create some variables, and these variables must be interactive. Okay, so for that we are going to use the get parameter as text code. So first create some variables here. So as I already said, we're going to create a personal geodatabase file first. So for that, we're going to include the variables that are required for its creation, right? So for that, first variable will be gdb name, right? So it will be gdb name is equal to arcpy dot get parameter as text, and please keep in mind all these lines of code are very case sensitive, so please have a look at it. So it is arcpy dot get parameter as text, open parenthesis 0 and close parenthesis. Okay, so we created the gdb name variable here, and the second variable which we need to declare for the creation of a personal database file is its location. So it will be gdb underscore location is equal to arcpy dot get parameter as text, open parenthesis 1 close parenthesis. Okay, so we have created two variables here that are necessary for the creation of a personal database file. So now we are going to create the input folder variable. As I already said, we are going to convert the shapefiles that are residing within an input folder into the feature classes, and then these feature classes will be stored inside this newly created personal database, right? So for that, we're going to specify the input folder variable here. So it will be ip underscore folder is equal to the same thing, arcpy dot get parameter as text, open parenthesis 2 and close parenthesis. Okay, so we have created all the variables that are required for the tool to be run smoothly. Create another variable called the output personal geodatabase. So we have already created the geodatabase name variable and the geodatabase location variable. So now we are going to join them so that it will be stored as a personal geodatabase. So for that we are going to use the append symbol here, okay, which is nothing but the plus symbol. So for that we are going to create a new variable previously. So it will be output personal GDB is equal to GDB underscore name plus GDB underscore location. So I hope you understand the logic behind this. We're just joining the name with the location where it is being saved. Okay, only then it will be really saved as a file, or else it won't be saved as a file. Okay, so for that, this statement is very important. You can just start working on the statements are required for its creation. Okay, so for that, first let me create the output personal database. So it is Arcpy dot create personal GDB, and these three letters should be in capitals. Okay, so it is Arcpy dot create personal GDB underscore management open parenthesis. So first you have to specify the GDB name. Okay, so since you've already created the variable, so you can just copy and paste those variables inside this syntax. Okay, so it will be GDB name comma followed by GDB location. Okay, so for the GDB location comma, and then you have to specify the version of the geodatabase file which we are going to create. So for that you can just use the current version. So if you specify the term current, then it will be creating a geodatabase file based on your current version of Arcmap software. So for that you have to use the double quotes since it is a string data type, so it will be current. Close the double quotes and close the parentheses. So this statement will be creating the personal database file for us. So now we are going to shift to the process of converting the shapefiles to the feature classes. So it will be like this. So first you have to set the environment workspace. This environment workspace will be set to our input folder because if you run the tool, the software is looking for the shapefiles that are existing within the folder. So if we set the current workspace to this folder, the software will be searching for the shapefiles that are existing within the current workspace, and those shapefiles will be converted to feature classes. So for that it is important to set the current workspace. So for that you have to include this step here. So it will be env dot workspace. So you can also understand the meaning why I imported the environment variable here. Okay, because we are going to use it here. So it will be environment.workspace is equal to the input folder. Alright, so you can just copy and paste this variable here. Okay. And the next step is we're going to create a new variable. Okay, let's just name it as FCS, which means that the feature classes. So it will be FCS is equal to Arcpy dot list feature classes open parenthesis open quotes, include an asterisk symbol, and then close the quotes, close the parenthesis. What this line means is that we will be creating a new variable called the FCS, and this variable will be searching for all the shapefiles within this particular folder. This asterisk means all. Okay, so it will be searching for all the shapefiles that are within this input folder of our choice. So for that, we have included this term here. So now we're going to create a for loop. So it will be for FC, in FCS. Put a colon and then just press enter. So we are inside this for loop now. So for every single feature class that is existing within the feature classes, we have to do this step. So we are just instructing this software to do this step for every single feature class that is existing among all the feature classes inside this inside that folder. Okay, so for each and every single feature class in this feature classes, okay, do this step. Okay, that is what we are trying to convey to the software here. So for FC and FCS colon, it will be Arcpy dot feature class 2 geodatabase underscore conversion open parenthesis FC comma the output geodatabase file here. Okay, so you just have to copy that and paste it inside this line. So just copy that and paste it inside this line, and then just close the parenthesis. So what this statement means is that it will be searching for all the feature classes inside this folder, and each feature class will be converted to a it will be transferred to this output personal geodatabase file, okay, which we have created here. Okay, so it is very simple. So I think we have completed the code here. We can just save it now. So let me save it now. Let me save button here. Let me just save it as trial. Okay, it has been saved, and you can also check for some syntax errors if there is any in your file by just clicking on this button here. So it will be checking for the syntax error here, and you can also see the command here. So this file is free of all the syntax errors. So I think we are good to go now. We just have to open the Arcmap software now. Okay, so let me open the Arcmap software. Okay, so now we're going to just import this tool inside our toolbox. So for that, we have to create a new toolbox here. So let me just create a new toolbox in my folder of choice. So let me just create a toolbox inside this folder. So just right click on that folder, go to new, and then just go to the toolbox option here. So a new toolbox has been created here. So let me just keep the name as default. So now I have to add the script inside this toolbox. So just right click on this toolbox and then go to add script. Okay. So you can just name the script in your own way. So I'm just going to give the name as SHP2 FC trial, and I'm going to give the same name in the label box here as well. So it will be the same, and you can also give the description for the tool which you have created, and in this case I'm going to just leave it as empty. So just click on next and proceed to the next term. It is saying that we should not have any underscores, so let me just remove that. Okay, so in this step we have to import the script file which I have just now written. So click on the folder button and then import the script file which I have written. Click on next again. So this is the most important step. So just have to create the parameters here, and it is also very important to mention the correct data type for each and every parameter. And another important thing is that you have to specify the parameters in the same order in which you have written the code. So for example, first we wrote GDB name, and then GDB location, and then followed by the input folder. So it has to be in the same order inside this window as well. So first it will be GDB name, right? So I just have to type the display name here. So display name should not be the same as the one which we wrote in our code. It can be of your choice. So let me name it as first GDB name. Okay, and then we have to go to the data type option here. So since this being a name, it is important to give the data type as a string. So just go to the string option and then just press enter. Okay, so it will be string option here, and you can leave the rest as default. Okay, so and the second parameter is the GDB location. So it will be GDB location. So this will be of the workspace data type. So it will be workspace. So it will be workspace data type. And then you have to mention the input folder. So only based on this, it will be converting the shapefiles. So I have to specify the input folder here. So it is very obvious that this type should be folder data type, right? So it will be folder. Go to the folder option, just press select. Okay, so you can leave the rest as default here. So it will be person database string, GDB location as workspace, and input folder as a folder data type. So it is ready to finish now. So it has been finished, and you can see the tool here. So everything is fine. So let me just click on the OK button. So it should be it should run fine now. Okay, so just click on the OK button. As you can see, it is running now. It is done. So you can just close this window, and you can see the result refreshing the folder in which you have created it. So just right click on this folder. So this is the folder path which I have given for the creation of this geodatabase. So just right click on this folder and then just click on this refresh button. So you can see that this new geodatabase has been created here. And if you just click on the plus symbol, you can also see the shape fields which have been created to the feature classes. So these feature classes have been stored inside this trails file, geodatabase file. So in this one, you can create some customized tools using the Python for ArcGIS coding language. So I hope this video was of some use to you. So please do like, share and subscribe my channel for more updates like these. Please stay in touch. Thank you.